up being the shoulders. So that's how you do the shoulders. You just sew right along that edge so it catches both of them, because you're not tucked in very far. So you got to go right barely past the folded edge. You're going to go straight stitch right across that. That gives you the two shoulders of the finished seam. So we're going to finish sewing this guide here and here. You make sure you put the yellow out of the way, so when you're sewing around on here, it's the blue, and you're catching on the inside, you're catching the raw edge, so it's not in front of it, and you're going to go right it straight across. That will then finish the top. Once that is finished, we'll talk about the ribbon. Okay? Okay, so the final touches is we've got the belt, which we just tack in place. So you're going to use the yellow that I have, and we'll tack the sides on both sides. And then these are the grommets that you do. The first grommet you put in place is up here at the top, so it's just an 1/8 of an inch from the top. You actually, when you're sewing these on, there is the part where the metal comes together, and where that is coming together, the thread will actually go through. So you need to make sure that as you put it on, it's the side that does not have the hole in it, that you put up towards the top where you're sewing, and you tack it 3 times through the top, 3 times through the bottom. Once you get the top one in, then you pull it taut and flat, and these ones stand on in, and the grommet stands, or I don't know what else to call it. The grommet stands flat, and then on the bottom. So you just do 3 times, tack it 3 times on the top, 3 times on the bottom, and then you do the bottom one. This one, you're going to do the yellow on the bottom. You do it halfway through the ring. If you look at it, it's halfway through the ring, and you tack it with the yellow on the bottom and then blue on the top. You pull it tight after you get the bottom one in, pull it tight, and then this one is placed, well, all the dresses are going to be a little bit different, but pretty much 1 inch and 1/8. So you're going to do, 1 inch and 1/4. No, it's 1 inch and 1/4, I apologize. So 1 inch and 1/4 between the bottom of this little hole ring and the top of this ring. Now these little metal grommets, some of them didn't get pinched back together quite evenly, so you're going to pinch it back together so that they're straight and as closed as possible, and you need to make sure that those are all facing up, the little holes on the big grommets, because if you put them facing down, which that one's facing down, so we'll just switch it around. If you face it down, then the ribbon will fall out of it. So that's how we're going to do the grommets. Then the next thing to finish off, we're going to finish because we haven't sewn the front yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to pin the bottom. Sorry. So you just pin it up about 4 to 6 inches. You're going to sew all the way up here. Once it's sewn all the way up, you back stitch there. Then you're going to open it up to the front to where that back stitching is. You're going to lay it flat, and you're going to just make sure you're keeping it so that it's closed, and then you're going to just go do a straight stitch across this direction. So that's why that when you sew it, you're going to just go put it flat, closing up the gap and sewing straight across. So that will keep it together and stop the zipper from going down any further than we want, because the zipper is too long. So you want to just sew it off about 4 inches above the bottom. So you just do a straight stitch across a couple of times, back and forth, and you only go the width of the zipper, basically, not quite the full width of the zipper, but just back and across the zipper itself, and that will stop it from opening. And then the last thing would be the hem. So on the hem, we want the dress length to be 1 inch above the knee. Once it's on with the underskirt. So you're going to put the have them try out on, put on their underskirt, the puffy one, put on the dress, and then you're going to just kind of fold. All you do is if you don't serge the bottom, then you'll have to roll it, double roll it. So you'll do like 1/8 of an inch, and then you'll roll it up and hem it. And the one I did for Aubrey, it was the hem was supposed to be 1.5 inches, and it ended up being almost exactly that. So, or not quite 1.5 inches, like 1.25 inches. So I just flipped it under and sewed, and just sewed right across about 1 inch above the bottom, so about from my thumb knuckle to the top, and I just sewed all the way around the entire dress. And that is the hem, and that is the full dress. That's how we make them. Okay, thanks.